To a grayscale that tends to red. So you can, let's say we have, I don't want that, I want some motorcycles. There's some motorcycles, there's some motorcycles. Okay, so you want grayscale first. You go back to Effect in the browser. You go to Video Filters, Image Control, and one called Desaturate. You drag the desaturate onto the viewer and you notice it makes it grayscale. What you can see if we go into our filters, under desaturate, there's the amount. I usually run it at 100% when I make grayscale. So now that whole thing's a black and white. It's not a requirement for you to do it this way from our project. I notice when I usually convert something to grayscale, it gets a little murky looking, like a little watered down. So I like to put brightness and contrast into something that I make grayscale to give it a little more energy. So I'll put the brightness and contrast in there, pull my filters over here so I can see them, and mess with putting a little more darker contrast in that way. I mean a little less brightness. Push your contrast up a little and push that back up. I just play with these to try and give it a little more life sometimes, because sometimes it starts to look milky if you just go grayscale. Another thing you can do under desaturate is you can take it back a little bit. Then the last thing you need to do to make it go red, I'm going to pull this clip right back onto there. To make it go red, under image control you have something called tint. So let me show you how to get there again from video filters. You go into video filters, image control, and then come down and do tint, T-I-N-T, and you pull it onto the video. Then you come into the filters tab. You'll see tint. You see that it's already black and white. To get the color you want, you click on that once on the little swatch. You push this little bar up over here to get the colors to come up. Then click where in the color wheel you want to use it. Then you can pick the different reds over here from this to get more of a blood red. You can kind of click around. After that, you hit OK. That's a little bit much. That's like psychedelic red. That's not blood red. So you can take the amount you tint down to kind of a blood red in the amount. And of course, it didn't do that immediately. Remember that with the it was grayscale and kind of came in as red, kind of like blood oozing. So you'd want to use your keyframes. So you go to the motion tab over here. Go over there, see where it's hanging out. It might be under, where did it run off to? Managed to hide the filters tab on this. Let's see where I've put it. It gets stuck under stuff sometimes. There it is. So on the filters tab, you can see as I'm dragging this around, it really rocks to have two monitors, by the way. See on the filters tab right here, you notice, remember our timeline with the keyframes. So you want it to be maximum red by the time it finishes. So you'd come down here, put a keyframe down there, come back down here, put a keyframe down there. You could zero that back down to where it's grayscale, so as it plays, the red starts to take over. If you want it to start a little earlier, you could bring that back this way a little bit to get it in earlier. So that's how I got it when that thing came in. He did the white flash gunshot and it got red. I converted the start of that shot to grayscale. What is? Oh, good. You found them. Good. They weren't in my mailbox. Excellent. Y'all get to grade me tonight. The student evaluations. I've been asking the department where they are, and I just consider